Body. Diane should be here in a bit, but since she's not,
and we don't, and no Robert yet.
yeah. Well, we're gonna go over his pages.
Do we want to wait for him to see if maybe he shows up?
Whose pages?
All right,
Robert's
well,
pages.
I mean,
Oh yes, we should totally wait for him a bit.
I mean, it assumes he's all right. Fine, okay.
I mean, we could try DMing him, seeing if he'll.
You could. I mean,
I'll DM him.
Okay, go ahead. Meanwhile,
are his pages the only stuff we've got?
No, we also have some John scripts.
Oh, there you go.
But,
and oh yeah, those pages are fun. Yeah. I have some slightly exciting news, which is that story I did, the horror one for the anthology. I found an illustrator.
Okay,
he does Spawn covers. My illustrator.
The horror one. Remind me.
Girl breaks up with a terrible boyfriend, meets the devil at a crossroads, sells her soul to have plants kill him.
Okay, I don't remember. All right.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Okay, Jonathan.
You quite liked it, Preston, at the time.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great.
So, yeah, my illustrator does image covers.
Okay.
I am very excited about this.
All right.
I'm spending some capital M money on this guy.
Okay.
Well, I feel like I am actually. Well, here's a question: this is probably a professional rate. I think he likes me. We hung out for a bunch at a thing.
Yes.
But it's $250 US a page colored. It's pretty pro rates.
Yeah.
Is he doing everything?
Well, I'm doing the lettering.
I mean, sounds good.
His girlfriend's doing the coloring. He's doing the pencils and inks.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to look really good, I think.
Right.
And he'll do a variant cover.
Okay.
Why isn't he doing the main cover?
Because we already have an illustrator for the main cover. It's our art director for the project.
Oh, okay.
It's an anthology, so the illustrator who we've worked with for the first two.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. I forgot we were talking anthologies.
Yes. With that being said, we've also got a conversation with Steph from Bloody Gore Comics next week. And it's very possible he will want a story to draw.
Okay.
Which means I'm going to be looking for a story to buy.
I mean, wait, for what's the genre and how long?
Horror, PG-13 horror.
Okay. And how many pages?
Probably 8.
Okay. I mean,
so if you're looking for a writing exercise, the theme is green, so something involving plants or marijuana.
Okay, sure, I could do that. I mean, yeah, that seems like a fit for your friend. Didn't he already write an 8-page?
Yeah, that's for the same anthology.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, so Kayla Rainey from Florida is drawing that. She's great. I worked with her before.
Okay.
So yeah, high likelihood we're going to need a story to buy, or if you're just looking for something to write, 8-page short horror story involving plants or pot.
Okay. All right. Anyway,
it's a good exercise anyways to write shorts.
What about my Poison Ivy fan fiction?
File the serial numbers off and bring it to the stream, and we'll find out.
So we have 6 pages. There's a title with boobs. So I'm already in love with the cover. Hooray! Of course, this is just a sketch, but the idea of put boobs on the cover. And zombies, it looks like on the back cover. And I mean, sure, why not? Sounds great. And then this is just character sketches.
That's a full turnaround, that is, though. I mean, that's all you need for concepts.
Yeah. And then we just got 3 pages of story here.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to read it or do you want to, I mean.
Sure, let's go.
All right, so let's see. All right, so first page we have people outside. They seem to be carrying signs and
protesters.
Yeah, there are protesters. Some of them have some things in hand, looks very vaguely sticky. So maybe they got.
Maybe they're angry protesters.
They seem like angry protesters. And she's sitting in front, drinking what looks like some coffee, and smoking a cig. I don't know. I guess she has tats because it seems like she's got some stuff.
Was there tats on her reference?
Let's go back. She does have tats on her reference. Yes.
Okay.
Tattoos are interesting in serial art because if your illustrator agrees to it, and they might not know this, they're committing to rendering those consistently every goddamn time the character shows up from any weird angle possible.
Yes.
So actually, tattoos are a huge commitment because they are a bloody hassle.
Yeah.
That being said, good on him for giving it a go.
Yeah. And she's chilling out and smoking, completely unconcerned with the angry protesters. And then we have some guy who looks a bit like Danny.
Sure. Shall I bring you an ashtray? He says.
What they were. Yeah.
So I guess we'll give notes later on. It's only 3 pages.
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's see. But hold on. Do I have? No. Yeah, I know I'm live on my channel. I don't need to know. I'm gonna close.
You are live. We are live.
What they refuse to understand, what they are incapable of realizing, is automation wins. They just need to find new work.
Learn to code.
Yeah, learn to code, bitches.
Isn't AI taking those jobs finally?
Yes, although I saw a video today that maybe it turns out that I was a complete bystander. I don't know how to code. I don't, but people were telling me oh my God, I fired my programmers and everything's just done by AI now and it works great. And I'm like, awesome, I guess. And now I'm seeing reports that actually AI code sucks and there's a whole people's specialty is now going back and taking AI code and turning it into something more usable, and often it's even more expensive. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's very much like writing, but it doesn't mean it's not taking away entry level work.
Yeah,
there were some. I believe it was Microsoft or no, NVIDIA. NVIDIA fired. Rumor is they fired about 10% of their development team and was using AI to write their patch, their firmware updates. And the last few firmware updates have been absolutely crashing systems and creating major instabilities. So that is the rumor, is that it's backfiring on NVIDIA because their gaming GPUs are getting updates by code written by AI. That's the rumor circulating through the tech blogosphere.
Now I could see AI replacing HR jobs because HR are do we have the right compliant forms filled out and stored?
I mean, AI has already kind of replaced the HR job of actually reading a person's resume.
Right. Yeah. So,
which is causing all kinds of other problems.
Sure.
I found out that AI is replacing the entry-level accountants in my new company because they just upload the invoices and AI basically converts them and then enters them into the accounting software. And all I have to do is double check to make sure that it read it correctly, coded it to the right place, and entered the right dollar amount. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. But 33% of doc jobs already cut. We have 88.
Wait, I should be saying that because that's an off-screen line.
Oh, you're right. That is an off-screen line. Okay, yeah.
33% of doc jobs already cut. We had 88 job requests this morning, more coming.
They'll crawl over my dead body before I hire low-skilled humans for my repair jobs. I'm all in on droid solutions.
I easily update to the latest skill sets. I serve at your pleasure.
If only you could pleasure.
Shall I summon Tiffany or Troy?
No time for robot love. We have jobs coming in. That's a big balloon.
I was going to comment on that when we do our crits.
Yeah.
Who wants to be the computer? So that's me. Okay. Computer fueled. Batteries at 80%. Good enough to reach requesting party.
Do we want to read this text here? Telegram alert, distress level 4, stop. Saratoga Sea, stop. Cat 5 hurricane, stop. Propulsion malfunction, stop. Coordinate incoming. And
why are we reading that? The reader won't.
They won't. I don't think.
I mean, they will and they won't. It's a detail, so it's not primary text.
Okay.
Which means like it'll scan. It's a pretty big panel, but like to really stick the landing on. Here's the situation. Someone needs to say something.
Yeah.
Or even, oh look, my arm says this, to at least draw the reader's attention to the art.
And then we got the next panel here.
Payment confirmed. Let's roll.
I don't know who this is supposed to be speaking. Right? Like, I don't know who that is, but I don't know.
Well, since the other person says that's my line, I'm going to go with I should be saying that.
Okay, yeah. Hey, smartass, that's my line. He looks smugly pleased, and then I guess we're taking off in a flying car above the protesters, being like, "Fuck it, bitches,
later, bitches."
Yeah. And then we're in our flying car. Looks like we're going. So we have a big splash page as the flying car is going to the ship, and then we have some inset panels. So top right says that's it, painted black, lots of lightning, careful.
Pervo site, full coat solar activators designed to absorb fulminations, old school.
You sure we can make it?
I calculate 99% likelihood we land safely.
It's the 1% I'm worried about. And then
so start the revolution then. Jesus.
Exactly, yeah. Bam. And I guess they land. All right, and that's all the story we have.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know, we have introduced whatever this woman's name is with the boobs. But she's clear. She's a woman. She's a woman who's clearly very sexual. That's like, you know, she dresses. She's got the nips pretty much on display. She wishes she could have sex with her robot henchman. She's seemingly a bit self-absorbed. The workers are beyond her concern. And she's out on a ship, I guess, and in some kind of attempt to write. I don't know if she flew into this hurricane. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I guess she did. And she's kicking ass and taking names, and who doesn't like strong, slutty women? I mean, I
would say Robert is really good at writing characters that we love to hate.
Okay.
So he did that with Bavarian Cream Donut Guy, and here we have another character that we should love to hate.
Okay.
And we can't wait for them to get.
She is a very good villain protagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the art's really good. I think considering Robert's scripting, he did the right thing by like finding a really good artist. The layouts are but yeah, it's well realized. A lot of the camera angles like let us see things that would otherwise require their own panels. The shot, like the overhead shot over the girl's shoulder to see the arm, and all those details was, I think, really quite well conceived. And this certainly is telling a story, this art.
All right. Constructives. Well, I know, Danny, you had some stuff on the bubbles.
Well, I mean, there's the balloons which are placeholder, and that's fine.
Yeah,
are all over the place. and so many of them break panel borders that actually it's a sign the illustrator didn't give himself enough headroom in any of those panels. The bottom left there on this page is going right into the next panel with a silhouette that we don't even need. Right? That could just be a basic over-the-shoulder shot and give us more room for the balloons. So the layouts are a bit off in that respect. And then the third page, the splash page, those bottom two panels don't have any dialogue. They don't do anything. They're just the plane landing. I mean, we can cut to the plane has landed. We don't need any of that.
Yeah, that is true.
So actually, like, well, and of course we start on the right, which is not where dialogue should start on this page. So we've got two panels not doing anything. We're not really introducing the speakers first. Speakers, generally, you want to put them more left to start and then move further rightward on the page.
Hey, welcome, Robert.
Hey, we're giving notes.
Good.
And then
we're
again,
talking
we
shit
have,
about you.
Yeah.
What's new?
Yeah, and then
love you,
some
Robert.
of the screen directions here are super weird. Like the third panel, I calculate 99%. That balloon is pointed nowhere near the other character. It's just up at the top of the panel for no reason.
Yeah.
So like the placements don't actually reflect the geography of the scene very well, making it really, really hard to actually understand what's going on. Okay. Considering that girl's on the left for both of those, that could just be the bottom third of the page and we can get on with our lives, but it's not for no reason. I don't think we get anything from those being inset panels.
Yeah. I mean, we get this cool visual of the flying.
What if the top inset was to the left and then the bottom inset was lower and to the right?
I would like it more. I think.
I mean, you could even make that if we're assuming that we're cutting the two bottom insets that don't really do anything, you could make that second inset wider and show the other character, and then you have the dialogue between the two of them.
Right.
But you still have the problem of the first speaker is on the wrong side of the panel, which I know Danny likes to say that the first speaker should be on the left side of the panel.
Yeah.
But but then you're basically.
Nice,
but then you're not going to see their faces because of their sitting position in the vehicle.
Yeah, but you could do a reverse over the shoulder shot and that wouldn't be a problem.
John, what do you think?
And so
well, but then you have to. But then you have to. If you're doing.
Once you've established the geography, is not so bad. But like, we don't see the inside of the helicopter at all.
No.
Right.
Do we need to?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Do we need to?
No.
Okay.
But having a wider panel to show the geography better for that like reverse dialogue in the third panel here, the second inset, that would solve a bunch of problems and make it really clear what's going on. And also give you more room to make the ship and the flying car bigger.
I agree.
Because those two bottom panels do nothing for you.
All right, John.
Sure.
Did you got any constructives, or do you think that was pretty thorough?
I don't understand the big deal about dialogue panels or dialogue balloons being outside the panels. I think they look fine, in my opinion, but that would not jump out. That would not jump out to me.
Okay.
I do think. But I do agree about that second inset panel. That top one does seem a little off because it's kind of pointed up and over her head, and that's not the direction to where the other guy is.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, that I definitely
you mean like
agree with.
You mean like screen direction is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is that balloon doesn't point to the guy that's speaking.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
That's the problem that I have with it. Other than that, I think they're fine, and I don't think if you're consistent with it, I don't typically have a problem with balloons being over panel borders. I don't think it's that big of a deal.
I will suggest this also depends on who's lettering this, because it might not be this illustrator.
Okay.
Right. So if this illustrator does it, I guess it's fine. But otherwise, what are you going to send these balloon placements to someone else and be like, fix them up?
I really, again, this is the first shot. I've never art directed something like this.
So the thing I was mentioning is that the balloons crossing panel borders is a sign that you could do different layouts. Like what this is telling me is the illustrator did plan for the dialogue, but didn't make that like zoom out enough or make the panels big enough to actually hold all the dialogue.
That's interesting that you say that, because he gave me some initial sketches and I said, fine, yeah, go for it. And he said, do you mind if I do the lettering too? And my first question, Preston will appreciate this, and what's that going to cost? Sure. And he said, no, just let me do it. And I said, fine, do it. I figure for free, it's there because it's layered, and I have source files. So if I needed to give it to someone else, they could extract that if they needed to. But I kind of like this guy. So
he's a great illustrator. You missed us saying that bit. Yeah, like generally you end up with dialogue like this when the letterer gets stuff and they're like, well, fuck, there's nowhere to put it. And you still have to use the balloons to organize how people read the page. Like this page we're looking at here, actually, Preston, can you scroll down? Mm-hmm. So here we go. Sorry, the one above that.
Okay.
We start at the top left. Great. That's how you're supposed to go. Then you go to the right. Cool. Then go straight down. Cool. Then you have an entire panel of nothing, which is why there should be some dialogue there of some kind. So this is fine, but like stacking all the dialogue on the right, the only thing that tells us the chronological order of these scenes is the vertical orientation of those dialogue balloons.
Right. There's supposed to be captions there.
Actions.
Yeah, there's some caption, what I call caption as opposed to dialogue, that would go into that. I didn't have him do that because he offered to do the dialogue and that was it.
So, I'm gathering that she is the bitch of Bitcoin.
Yes,
and that this is her personal meme coin, in which she reflects payments. And she's overtly sexual. I mean, look at that icon. But
I was going to use the other one that I put up, the golden one, sure. and get rid of the Bitcoin obvious underneath it because I would get sued.
By who?
I don't know, and they probably want to get paid in Bitcoin. So
yeah, I don't know who would sue you.
Yeah, okay.
But
so it's like bison dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, or dog.
That was a great reference.
But I'm not sure exactly what the bitch does. I mean, here she's looking cool in front of protesters who are upset that they've lost their jobs. I mean, was she hired to fire them? I don't know. Okay. But like here she's like, what is she going to do on this ship that's in the middle of a hurricane? I don't know.
Well, there's repairs, and again, if we were to go back to the script, you would see that she's a repair business.
Yeah, but we didn't read the script today. We looked at your pages.
Yeah, got it. Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, yeah, right. we don't give a fuck about your script. We're looking at your movie, dude.
Right. So, I mean, if she's a repair tech, I don't understand why she's acting like the CEO of this company who's just increased their profit margins by replacing all the workers with droids. So like she doesn't have the mentality of a repair tech, I guess.
No, she doesn't. She seems very boss in charge.
Yes, absolutely.
And she seems like a mercenary, not a CEO. So why aren't the protesters protesting the CEO?
Right.
They're protesting her instead.
They
don't
seem
say anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure what her role in society is and what it is that she gets paid to do. If she gets paid to fix stuff, then this opening scene seems off, because this is not what motivation and dialogue I would give to a repair person who's there to fix. I guess I'm assuming she built, repaired, or maintained all the droids that are putting these people out of work, I guess. And
but that's not clear.
Yeah,
She-
that's what I hear. Is it's not clear.
This
Yeah.
scene. So this scene reminds me of, and I can't remember the exact line, but that the scene from Fifth Element, where,
Bruce Willis.
no, the other guy, the bad guy,
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman is walking down the hallway, and his henchman comes up and says, "You know, our profit margins are down," and Gary Oldman says, "Well, fire 500,000 employees," and the henchman's like, "Well, how do we do that? You know, or from where?" And he's like, "Oh, just from one of the taxi companies," and that's how Bruce Willis gets fired from his job. But basically, that's kind of what this reminds me of, where it's basically like, oh, we're just going to fire them to cut margins, because that's basically all he did in that scene. Is that we see that, yeah, he's a big evil CEO guy because he fired a bunch of people heartlessly, and that's what I'm seeing here with her in this scene. Is that?
Are you sure she's not just the world's coolest, most nonchalant plumber?
Exactly.
Well, you know, quite frankly, Danny,
actually,
that's the direction I'm going.
That's not a protest. That's all of the guys she slept with begging for her to marry them.
Yeah, because she's
we
hot.
Don't know.
Yeah,
and instead she fired him. Yeah, right.
Because she's hot, and she unclogged their toilets, and they want her back.
It's closer to the vibe.
I mean,
that I'm
I like
after.
a girl who can handle a pipe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. So I would like a bit more exposition about
Any
what
of
it
the
is that
setup.
she does. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my concern. This is a visual concern. Is how much I looked at several different comic books that I could pull up on screen where I could go through them, and the ones that had a lot of dialogue died. And I know, Danny, you had said earlier that dialogue is good. What's that?
Go read Transmetropolitan.
I gotta write that down.
A, it's about a Hunter S. Thompson type character.
Oh, gotta like that.
B, he mostly talks to people and is an asshole.
Transmetropolitan.
Yeah. Spider Jerusalem is the best character, or one of them. But he has to talk to people and explain like who he is and what he cares about real fast. And that thing is still quite compelling.
And it's a lot of dialogue, you're saying?
Yeah, he's a journalist.
Yeah, so visually I was concerned about putting in too much type. I feel stronger doing that and being able to tell a story than to parse it down for a lot of the ones that I looked at that visually were really dynamic, but some of the narrative was a little difficult to follow.
Did you read Palace of the Golden Princess?
No, I did not.
Oh,
you should probably read that one too.
I gave that one away for free. I didn't even read it.
I didn't.
So, Robert, I get what you're feeling, because I kind of approach comics the same way. We both approach them as screenwriters, and as screenwriters, you don't want to have heavy dialogue exposition, but that means that your visuals need to really, really sell it. And that might also mean spending a couple extra pages to establish something. But as I'm sure Danny will interject, this is not a film, it's a different medium, and sometimes you do need to have some kind of lettering on those pages.
I mean, I was going to suggest something else actually, which is okay. So, Robert, you now learned, as I keep saying, that dialogue in comics can be expensive, right? Because you think it slows down your story and stuff, and like you definitely want to start with an interesting image, and you've done that. generally the way you structure a comic is you do a pretty gangbusters intro, 6 to 8 pages, then you slow it down.
Okay, so a long cold open.
So you can have an action-packed intro and keep things a little bit opaque. Once you've hooked people with that, then you can slow it down a bit, then build up the tension and the ongoing story. Right. Like think James Bond movie here, right? But you can still tie them in together. So after your first 6 to 8 pages, then you slow down, give your exposition, and then start rising your tension after another 6 or so. You've got about 24 pages. So that's 3 blocks of 3 or 4 blocks of 6. And sorry, 3 blocks of 8. Oh my God. But yeah, so that's one way you can insert exposition is add it later. But you still have to slow down and do that.
If I were writing the story, I would have opened with her talking to the CEO. You know, there are angry protesters outside, and you know, granted, you're taking away her bitchiness by giving it to the CEO, but I think it belongs with the CEO, where she's like, all right, I've deployed all the droids, they're reporting, they're already doing the processes, you know, twice as fast and for half as much. And the CEO is like, excellent, look at those pathetic losers outside protesting with their life. You know, here's your Bitcoin money, thank you. So like, you know, like, and we're getting some exposition and some character there. And I
and then like another job comes in. Okay, she's a freelancer. Moving on.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what she is. She's a freelancer.
So maybe
so then I get that. I get that.
Does the ships.
Yeah. And that's what this owner of the autonomous shipping line does, is says go in there, make sure you can fix the ships, and then those guys outside are going to go away anyway because they'll be too hungry because you've replaced them all. Sure. Whatever. I mean, I get that. I just I condensed it all into her. Like she's just So that may not. Well, we need somebody to hate.
We hate her.
Yeah,
which is fine, but it's not.
But you're attracted to her. That's the dynamic. That's the idea.
No, it's that we are improperly perceiving her role in the story.
Yes,
she's coming off as the CEO when she's not.
Right.
Yeah.
She's
following orders.
She's a chaotic neutral. I mean, unless you want her to go evil. But let's just say she's a chaotic neutral type. I'm just doing my job. I don't really care about anybody else. As long as I'm getting paid, you know, those bitches out there, they can learn to code.
And I'll argue that's lawful neutral.
And if they can learn to code, they can be just as employed and making as much money as I am fixing the damn robots.
You just described every developer in the U.S.
And I mean, but here is in that conversation where we can have our neutral, evil CEO character who just wants to save a buck. Or we could even reverse it. We could make the CEO guy a neutral, whatever. But my point is, getting confused. My point is having their dynamic, they could both come off as being assholes. If that's what you're trying to go for, you don't have to put all the asshole into her because she's coming off as the CEO asshole. Right. Whereas you can have the CEO, have her be there. She can still make some stupid line like, you know, those people will be fine, or they just need to get with the times and whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's a little bit dystopian sensibilities in the sense that everybody's kind of in it for themselves.
Right. Sure. And I know what you're going at, because that's one of the things that dystopian cyberpunk kind of tries to do, is kind of look at the way things are today and then say, if I take this thing to its logical conclusion, because I mean, what is cyberpunk dystopia but a warning? That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So you take something that you see, you take it to an extreme where you see it might go as kind of a warning. And in this case, we have our rich CEO guy who's going to be fine no matter what happens in the economy. And we have our girl who has basically figured out a way to make it in this new environment at the expense of others. And that's the way you get ahead when, you know, this automation and AI and all these things that you're basically speaking to and commenting on. That's kind of where you're going with. And it's like you can still show both of these characters as being amoral assholes. You don't have to show one nice and one. They could both be that way.
Right.
I mean,
you know,
to me,
I mean, here
yeah.
you could have another thing where maybe she comes in saying, I just did all of this. I fixed your robots. Everything's good. And maybe he's up there pouring champagne. He walks to the window at the protesters outside, gives her a champagne. Maybe he's trying to talk his way into her pants, but she's like, nope, I'm not having that. You're, you know, like, I only go with, you know, robotic things because, you know, whatever. Because then that's another angle to her if you want to do sexy on her. But there's a good way that you could also show.
So that, yeah, that fits because that's in there already where she, you know, do you want me to call the, you know, your favorite, you know, pleasure robots?
Right. And maybe she's the type of person that she just doesn't like humans and she'd rather be accompanied. She'd rather be in the company of robots rather than humans. And that could be part of her character flaw that she kind of has to find the humanity in herself.
That's exactly where it's going to, by the way.
So, but you can also showcase that by her interaction with the other guy. And then that would also bounce off too, is if there is this rich, powerful guy offering to, you know, or trying to get in her pants and she shoves him off or whatever.
But I like that character because that character could then come back and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, why aren't you just doing what I'm telling you to do? And she goes, I got to take care of myself, because she ultimately gets infected with the zombie juice and has to find a cure for it. And he's not interested in it. And so he becomes, you know, a challenge for her, or something she has to overcome. Preston, you were going to say something?
Well, for me, one, you know, you should read Palace. I posted it for free.
Okay, I didn't realize it. I will get it. And
it's he posts his links in the Discord.
Yeah.
Where in the Discord? Under comic books?
Yeah, I forget where I think it was in writer mentoring, because like Irwin Tank was like, how do I distribute electronically? And I was just gave out Palace for free. Like, here, everybody read Palace.
Okay, I'll do that.
But
it's why I stopped backing his Kickstarters, because I always just get them for free.
There you go.
Give him enough time. He'll post all the PDFs in the Discord.
Hey, what you should
I have backed everybody's Kickstarter here, so
because I opened that with a perfectly good cold open of, all right, there's people on a ship that's exploding and it crashes on a planet. Bam, that's like 4 pages. Then I start expositing.
But I'm saying the character of attractive, calculating, and basically, like, and basically a sociopath, you know, a narcissistic sociopath is, you know, that's Queen Arica, and you know, and you see her that way, but you know, Queen Arica is never going to put herself in danger to go repair a boat. That's not what she does. And
she's got minions for that.
Yeah, she has minions for that, right? And it's when you're in charge, that's where you kind of develop being, you know, a narcissistic sociopath, because you can be, and everyone just has to cater to what you're doing anyway because of the authority of your position. And in your story, I feel like she's kind of being portrayed as having that authority, but I don't think she really necessarily does, because she's a freelancer looking for a gig. So really, she needs to be way more focused on customer service and making people happy. And, you know, did the installation go very well, sir? And all that good jazz. So
making sure that people paying her are happy.
Right.
What the workers getting fired.
She doesn't care about the workers. She doesn't have to care about the workers.
Yeah,
right.
She cares about the people writing the checks.
Right. But like, you know, like your desire to portray her as though she were an imperious, narcissistic CEO, I don't know that that's really fitting for the role in society she's currently serving. Anyway.
All right.
What
do you guys think of the covers? The front cover?
I mean, she has boobs and a gun.
Who doesn't love boobs and a gun?
Who doesn't love boobs and a gun?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Didn't know if it went too far. So
too far.
Yeah, I showed you what I've been looking at, Preston. I posted that one. So
Okay.
Have you been to our writer streams?
Yeah, have you seen the comics we put out? I mean, God.
yes, I have.
I put out perfectly wholesome comics for all ages.
There you go.
And Preston puts out perfectly wholesome comics for most ages, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, it's
only John here who writes John Lamont scripts.
Yeah.
You're the trash peddler here, John.
Absolutely.
Hey, it's a brand, everything counts.
It is definitely.
I've embraced the horny old man inside.
There you go. All right, we have Project Delta. So, what has Marcus been doing before page 23?
He got recruited to join the FBI out of prison.
Okay, and he blackmailed his counselor.
Yes, he blackmailed the counselor into helping his cellmate avoid going to general population when he turns 18, because minors in federal penitentiary when they turn 18 are transferred out of what's called the special housing unit.
Yeah.
Because minors are kept segregated, but after they turn 18, they're moved over. And basically, his cellmate had a couple months after he turned 18. So rather than having him deal with that hell, he blackmailed his counselor into filing a special waiver to keep him in the special housing unit.
Because he's a nice guy and he cares.
Yes.
Yes. There. Okay.
Which becomes the Achilles heel. Because that's what they exploit, is care for his sister.
Out. Interior FBI LAFO Task Force War Room Day. Hakeem leads Marcus into the room where 6 analysts sit around a large conference room style table. They glance up, Shoot glares at Marcus.
Don't worry, I only hack billionaires and politicians.
He's got all kinds of rules and stuff. He's a great guy. We love him. All but one of the analysts roll their eyes and return to their work. Will Redford, a.k.a. Scarlet, stares at him almost in awe. Hakeem strides to the front of the room, leaving Marcus standing alone like the only single guy at the prom.
Status report.
Pause for a second.
Sure.
And realize that John just wrote a Robin Hood reference in this story of all things. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay.
Okay. Status report. Jensen, where are we on the tornadoes? Tornadoes?
One of the analysts, Jensen, types on his I feel like Jensen needs some description beyond just analyst, but anyway. Types on the laptop, bringing up a map of Tor nodes on the large monitor on the wall.
Golden Arrow's been leaping across the globe. We flagged it at over 24 exit nodes worldwide. Last ping resolved to Prague.
Marcus sinks into a seat next to Scarlet.
Will Redford, big fan. I wrote my college dissertation on your GulfCon hack.
I must have done something wrong if you still joined the feds.
Hakeem calls out to Marcus.
Did you have something to add to this discussion, convict?
All eyes fall on Marcus.
That packet trace. If you filter out the junk traffic and isolate the timing signatures, you can follow it clean. Prague isn't the destination, it's the relay, which means your target is pivoting somewhere else.
We know that already. Try to keep up. Now that the kid's caught up to the rest of us, continue.
Hakeem turns the room back over to Jensen. Exterior Los Angeles Federal Building. Night. Marcus exits the Federal Building, searching through his pockets, pulling out a bus pass when Scarlet runs up behind him.
Marcus, need a lift?
Are the buses still horrible?
Notoriously. Where are you headed?
Can you take me to the hospital?
You feel all right?
Never better.
Scarlet leads Marcus towards the parking garage. Interior St. Vincent's Children's Hospital, April's room, day, night. April Robbins, 14 years old, a little pale with thinning hair, lays on a bed reading from her tablet. A wireless vitals monitor beeps gently, wireless pulse oximeter on her finger, IV drips hanging nearby.
Hey, sis.
Somebody else do the woman.
Marcus.
April's face lights up as Marcus walks into the room.
What are you doing here? Did you break out of prison?
I'll have you know I'm out on good behavior.
Good behavior. That would be a first.
Marcus leans over the bed, giving her a gentle hug.
Sorry, I don't have anything.
April tugs on Marcus's collar.
I don't need anything from my big brother.
She lets go and Marcus pulls up a nearby chair.
So, how long do you have before they haul you back?
I'm serious. I got a job at the FBI.
Oi.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I'm serious. I got a job at the FBI.
Who are you, and what did you do with my angsty anti-authoritarian teenager of a brother?
It's a condition of my release.
April glares at him with a "I don't buy it" stare. Marcus relents.
Okay, so I'm still in prison, just a nicer, bigger prison where I get to see you.
Have you spoken with Mom or Dad yet?
No, not yet. I doubt they'll care one way or the other.
Don't be too hard on them. I never went to visit you.
You at least wrote me letters.
Marcus.
For you, I'll do anything.
April gives Marcus big sad eyes.
Even forgive Mom and Dad for not visiting me in prison.
Good. So tell me about your job.
Not much to tell, really. First day, I went to the office, met a cute girl, then came here. The rest is classified.
If you tell me, will you have to kill me?
Of course.
Good. I'd rather it was you.
All smiles, April lays back, closing her eyes, getting sleepy.
So, tell me about this girl.
Marcus blushes sheepishly.
What girl?
The cute office girl. You going to see her again?
She works there, so I think so.
Marcus glances up, noticing the oximeter is off. In fact, none of the equipment appears to be powered on.
April, is that supposed to be off?
April closes her eyes, dozing off.
What?
Marcus stands, examining the equipment. It's plugged in but powered off. He checks on April as she sleeps. Marcus backs out of the room slowly. Nurse's station. Marcus enters the nurse's station, where nurses bustle about, running every which way in a panic.
He's coding. Get me a crash cart.
Call the doctor.
A nurse runs by Marcus, and he grabs her arm.
Nurse, I think there's something wrong with my sister's equipment.
Is she still breathing?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll yell if she stops.
The nurse pulls herself free, running into another room. Marcus spins around. All the hospital staff, even orderly and janitors, stand with patients performing CPR. Marcus glances around the nurse's station, see codes streaming across the nurse's monitor.
Shit.
Marcus hops the counter, pulling out his cell phone. As he rolls up to the terminal, he dials a number from memory, presses speaker, and drops the phone beside him. Angle keyboard, Marcus types Control-Alt-T. Angle monitor, a terminal window appears. Marcus types, connect to host 10.32.14.1, netscan subnet 10.32.14- flags infected external. Angle cell phone. Will answers the phone.
Marcus.
Angle Marcus. Marcus types furiously.
Yeah, it's Golden Arrow.
Are you still at the hospital?
I need a sandbox IP.
Shit, dude, I gotta call Moses.
Angle monitor, if processes name, Golden Arrow 0, echo intrusive signature found, isolate process, Golden Arrow, whatever, file Golden Arrow, sandbox created successfully. Angle Marcus smiles.
Got you, you son of a bitch.
Marcus continues coding, then notices something odd on the screen. Angle monitor, for con and active communications, if con port open, con origin equals trusted, echo external listener detected, plus con echo connection idle, observing only. Marcus, go ahead.
It appears we have a lurker.
Nurse station, the shrill of a mobile crash cart snaps Marcus back to reality. He yells sharply at the phone sitting beside him.
Will, I need that IP address.
What the devil are you on about, kid? Are you accessing an unauthorized device?
Do you want this code or not? Because if you do, shut up and give me a goddamn IP address.
Marcus stares at this phone.
Moses.
I'm opening a port now.
Angle monitor.
Filter. No. 204-91-77-22 port 458.
Marcus types that.
Prepare to receive
My packet.
Do you have to make it sound dirty? Sandbox file received.
I'm purging and rebooting.
Marcus
Jesus Christ,
types.
it's such a John Lamont script.
Yeah, Marcus types that, and then nurse's station. Seconds later, monitors flash on, equipment fires back up, returning to normal. April's room. Marcus runs back into April's room. Her equipment hums and beeps normally. April gasps, taking in a huge breath of air. Marcus walks up to finding her sleeping, breathing, labored.
You can sleep now, sis. I got you.
Marcus takes her hand, watching her. Then he looks back to the nurse's station.
What's her other hand watching?
There you go. Nurse's station. Marcus sits down at the nurse's terminal. Angle monitor. The flashing cursor at the end of the console line beckons him. Marcus types, echo send, are you there? Text appears, welcome back, Delta, though I didn't see you turning fed. Marcus types, echo send, they made me an offer I couldn't refute. Man, you got two different movie references.
Yeah.
Text appears, Pershing Square Station, 2 hours.
Here's the third one.
Yeah.
That's a real location.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I know it well.
The terminal window closes. Nurse's station. Marcus sits staring at the monitor when a nurse approaches him.
Hey, who are you?
Marcus looks up smiling. He shows his FBI ID badge. Marcus Robbins, technical consultant, FBI Cyber Division.
You're welcome.
Marcus scribbles down his phone number on a sticky pad.
April Robbins is my sister. Please call me if any like this happens again.
He holds it out to her.
Call me before you do anything or help someone, because if you don't, you won't be able to help anyone.
The nurse takes the
Okay, there we go. Now he's a huge asshole again. I was waiting.
Yeah, but it's a good line. It's a good line.
The nurse takes the sticky note. And
It's a threat.
It's a good line.
He threatens the poor nurse.
Towards the
It's a good line.
He's not threatening the nurse. He's saying that he's saying he's the only one that could stop the hack.
He's apprising her of the consequences. That's just what he's doing. He's a
Call me
good
before you
boy.
do anything or help someone, because if you don't, you won't be able to help anyone.
Exactly. It's that serious.
And
Yeah.
I think he makes it personal.
Anyway,
Robert, you get it. So okay, I don't. So it's
I may
fine.
be the only one, but you got to be careful.
Anyway, Marcus is, he clearly has a code, and he seems to, want to help some people, including family and cellmates, and hooray, he's being drawn into this conflict regarding this program he wrote that other people are using, Golden Arrow. And he seems to be up for meeting some mysterious figure who's going to make him an offer that he can't refuse. I look forward to seeing what happens next. Robert.
Okay. You finally got that hospital scene moving. Whereas before it was just like it went into a dead zone. So I think that's improved quite a bit. There may be a few too many step-by-step things happening. I think it could be shortened, and which actually would liven it even more. So it's quite an improvement over what it was. The dialogue is almost, I'm almost afraid to say this, starting to sound like there's interaction going on. I'm sure Danny's going to have his own viewpoint on that because he has in the past, but it's absolutely an improvement. And so I'm going to stick with that I expect through the next 10 or 15 rewrites, which we know is normal, that you'll trim it down and tighten it up and make it more personal. But he's starting to sound like a dimensional human being, so that's all good. Marcus is starting to sound.
I agree. This is the best scene in the story so far. I very nearly gave a fuck about your protagonist.
That's
He
it.
was like the least unlikable he's been the whole movie.
How could it be made better, Danny?
This scene was mostly fine.
Okay.
How could this scene be made better?
Sorry?
How could this scene be made better? And if you're going to comment about the coding, most of that's for the comic book.
I know why that's there, so I'm actually not giving you shit about that, although it's annoying for us to read out loud here on the stream. Yeah, I know why that's there. Like, all the nurses are off screen constantly, which is super weird. And sure, like, don't American hospitals have like police all over them with guns? I think everywhere in America does.
No,
they do now.
Usually.
Well, that's because all the nurses are, Hispanic. So.
But so I don't know if
I don't know of hospitals that maybe they might have one armed security downstairs in the lobby, but I don't know.
It's usually a floor. It's usually isolated to a particular floor, and that's where they'll put suspects or people that need to be protected, that kind of thing.
Yeah, this isn't children's oncology
I do get
hospital.
that this was
it's
slowing down, guys. So
okay.
The reason I was asking is because there's a cultural difference here. But I know this is a very panicky moment, but and yes, all the nurses would be on the floor helping people. That makes sense. The moment also lasts for like an hour. Like you're half an hour to an hour in story. This is not a 10-minute scene. Someone has to go type stuff in, click buttons. There's not like a generate static host IP address button somewhere that someone who's probably not anywhere near their computer can do in a minute. That sort of thing. So there's an amount of time that happens in which our protagonist isn't running back and forth. No one's distracting him by being a nurse and being like, you get the fuck out of there, stop hacking our system. No one's calling him a hacker and threatening him for hacking the system or trying to call security. And then the FBI badge comes out super late. So that's sort of why I thought the bit at the end was like, okay, he's saying he's a cop so he can threaten people because that's what cops do. Whereas if he was saying he was a cop early on to request permission, that would make more sense. And that didn't actually happen.
Well, he's not in the requesting permission. He's in ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah. So.
But I get what you're saying. There should be people trying to stop him, get away from the computer. I'm going to call security. And
once he reaches the computer very easily, there is nothing to stop him from completing his task for this scene.
So he has no challenges to overcome.
He just has to ask politely and wait. So that asking politely can be really hard for Americans, but I don't think that's the overwhelming challenge of a character's scene this early in the story, is what I'm suggesting. And maybe having a more obvious challenge might be to your benefit. I don't know what that is, but that's how I would improve this.
Okay. I mean, I was thinking if all the equipment in a hospital suddenly stops working and people that are on life support are suddenly coding and about to die, I kind of assumed that most of the nurses, doctors, orderlies would all be so panicked and busy, they probably wouldn't notice him sitting at the counter.
Oh, yeah, I see why you did that. Also, it occurs to me if all of the critical electronics that are probably attached to backup power have died. Why is the computer still on?
It's not the power, it's the connection to the computer, the network.
So having someone say exactly what happened, even if it's a little bit of technobabble, can go a little bit of a way.
Okay.
Because everything's dark in the sister's room, everyone's panicking elsewhere, but the computer's also just as much plugged into a wall as anything else.
You just have to say the network's down. And
Yeah,
you know,
no,
the
I got it.
monitoring
Yeah.
network is down. So
Or actually,
like a doctor could come in and say, "Nurse, what the hell's going on?" And the nurse can say, "The network's down. Everything's offline. I can't get a hold of IT."
Okay. One of the strengths that I saw in it, Danny, do you mind if I?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
I really didn't have a lot of problem with this stuff. Like, this is not the problem with the movie so far.
Yeah, really. This is we're tweaking at this stage. So I'll say that having Marcus look at the monitors and say that they're often not being an expert at that particular thing, although he's really smart, he's going, oh, this doesn't seem right. And then he goes out and experiences the drama and the chaos that's ensued because they realize the monitoring's down. What the hell is going on? I am confused by the fact that because the monitors went down, all these people are suddenly requiring CPRs when it's a children's hospital. So, it may be that everybody's getting orders to go check on this, go check on that, which is enough disruption for everybody to be running around as opposed to identifying a specific CPR thing. It was like,
well, I mean, some people would be on life support. Some people will be on life support, and those are the people that would be needing. But I see what you're saying.
Just one line: get to ICU there first. I mean, there needs to be nurses are in charge, and they have no doubt about it. Okay, so they're going to say, "Go do this, go do that," and I agree with Danny. There needs to be a "What the fuck are you doing on my computer?" and then he should show his badge.
No,
okay, so that, and it just puts it in a better order. So that when they come in and they check it out, well, what the hell was going on? What are you guys doing to my computer? Like they're accusing him. And he comes back and he says, no, I'm here for my sister. I'm in charge of this particular aspect of it. Something goes wrong, you call me first, especially if anything goes wrong with her. And then do your line, which was a very good wrap-up line for that scene. So that's what I mean by tightening it. It just needs to be narrowed down so that some of the things you are building is that motivate and or set up for an action that has to take place or a line that needs to be said just needs to happen quickly and go fast. Because I do agree with Dan, is what I said when he was stealing my thunder, is that it sure seems like a long time for him to be doing all this while everybody, typing away, and I'm moving my fingers like this, typing away that he's and all this chaos is going around. He needs to be, if you will, the focused person in the storm going on around him. That's how I see it visually as he does this. And he's confident in how he's putting it together and barking out orders. And I love the contrast, and at least the idea of a contrast with a nurse standing there barking out orders for getting everything to be done. It's an interesting dynamic that's going on. It like doubles the urgency in my head. I'm not sure quite how you construct it to keep it clean, but that chaos needs to be better defined and quicker.
Yeah, I'm going to sort of agree with Robert on this one. And take this to a bit of a more abstract level, because it's something I don't see very much in writers that I read, is two people who agree that something should be done and disagree on the process are still in conflict, even though they're on the same team.
Yeah.
That's a perfectly normal type of conflict that's actually very dramatic, that people don't write often enough because they're not actually antagonists. But for the purpose of the scene, they are.
Yeah, and it's like, set the detonator now. No, we're going to wait 3 more seconds, but that'll put us in danger. 3 more seconds.
Oh, you can see him take the shot. All of that stuff. Yeah. They're on the same team, works. But that's still a moment of conflict, and people don't write that shit.
And it's a TikTok. It's an immediate TikTok. It's got to happen now. So.
Yeah. So, someone pressuring you or whatever is absolutely a moment of conflict. Someone who wants the same thing as you but doesn't understand what you're doing is a moment of conflict. So I think, really dramatizing some aspect of conversation where A, you can remind people how much of a horrible asshole your protagonist is, and B, actually show him being competent, reveals the character and advances the story at the same time. That's what a good scene should do. So yeah,
Awesome.
I think Robert's pitches were pretty good.
Good job, John.
Thank you.
Now let's see if we can beat you up on the next one.
I thought it was fine. Don't listen to these guys. All right, let's go.
Well, wait a minute, Preston. You were comfortable with how long it took to
do
go
what?
You
through
were
all that?
comfortable reading all of that computer language?
Yeah.
Because I saw you not bothering in real life.
Well, sure, but that's just going to flash across the screen in a few seconds.
Well, no, some of it's actually secretly dialogue, though. So we are going to spend some time on it.
If it's secretly dialogue, I put it in bold.
Yeah,
So when you see, okay, just
I saw what you did there, and that's good. But I mean, that is a whole lot of, for the purposes of this project right now, shots of screens that won't have anything in bold because it's a terminal window, where you still need to force the reader to focus on stuff without using actual dialogue.
Is this just a comic book? Is this a movie?
Well, we're imagining it's a movie now because it's a screenplay format.
That's right.
Yes.
But it's the pacing of it in a movie is wrong.
All right.
The plan is to do it as a
beat
graphic
you up enough,
novel.
John.
The plan is to do it as a graphic novel. I want to finish the screenplay, and then I'm going to go back and convert it into a comic.
Okay.
But ideally, the plan is for it to be a filmable graphic novel. If that makes any sense.
All right. I mean, that's what I try to write, filmable graphic novels. So,
right.
There you go.
I mean, the most unfilmable graphic novel sort of series I've read is very good.
How good?
I mean, it's Saga. It's very good.
Yeah.
Saga is very good. If you haven't read it.
Yeah, I don't know Saga, but anyway.
Oh, it's the Brian K. Vaughan, Fiona Staples one from like 2004 to, I think it's still ongoing. They do it between their other stuff. It's on Image. You can probably get volume 1 for like $10 next time you're at a comic shop, and you should.
Okay.
The Image is actually really good for this. They try and keep their volume 1s really cheap.
Okay.
And so I really like just buying something that's completely random because it's cheap, and it's like, okay, let's see if they can set up a story. You learn a lot.
There you go. All right. Who wants to narrate Cowboys versus?
I'll do it. All right. Exterior Mineral City later. As Sheriff Abrams exits the general store, he notices. Didn't we just read this last week?
Yes.
2 weeks ago. Or was it this
we read
week?
this last week. This is a polish and a rewrite.
Okay. He notices Milo limping down the center of the street, fur matted and brown.
Milo.
Abrams glances up and down the street, concern growing on his face. Milo collapses exhausted on the side of the street. How did Milo get to the side of the street? Wasn't he in the center? And literally the previous action line?
Yes.
Okay. Teleporting dogs, let's go.
I mean, he could
literally line 1, the dog teleports halfway across the street. Something doctor's office day. The Dr. Thaddeus Hemsworth stands hunched over a mortar and pestle, carefully grinding dried herbs into powder. A flask of water, a tincture of opium, and labeled vials waiting to be filled rest nearby. He hums faintly, glancing at a handwritten ledger listing patient names and dosages. A bell rings, alerting him the front door has opened and closed.
If it's bleeding, sit them on the cot. If it's dead, call the Reverend. He's better at send-offs than I am.
How could the bell ring only once? It was a physical bell.
Dingle, dingle, dingle. That's once.
For both the door opening and closing.
Jeez.
I'm just saying. Hemsworth looks up as Abrams enters carrying the exhausted Milo in his arms.
Put him on the table.
Abrams gently placed the dog on the table, stroking his neck. Hemsworth looks him over.
Where's Callahan?
I don't know. He wandered into town alone.
Hemsworth looks over the dog.
This blood isn't his.
Hemsworth pours clean water from a nearby pitcher into a bowl and lays it in front of Milo. The dog rolls over, lapping it up.
A bit of rest and fresh water. He'll be right as rain. But where's Mr. Callahan?
Abrams gently pets the dog as he drinks.
Gather your things, doctors.
Hemsworth nods grimly. Interior Sheriff's Office day. Abrams enters the sheriff's office, finding Deputy Jamie Harper, late 20s, at the front desk, leaning back in his chair snoozing, his feet up on the desk and hat over his eyes.
Deputy.
Harper bolts upright, which ends up with him and the chair crashing onto the floor.
Fetch the horses. We're riding up to the Callahan Ranch.
Harper jumps to his feet.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I got it.
Abrams grabs his rifle and hat from the office before walking out the front door. Exterior Dakota Prairie day. Milo runs ahead of 3 horseback riders. He stops, looks back at his compatriots, barking as if to tell them to hurry along. Sheriff Abrams rides out front, flanked by Hemsworth and Harmer. You're the one who wrote it. As they approach, Milo sniffs the air.
Go on, boy.
Milo barks, running ahead. He slows to a trot, growling at the distance. Abrams catches up, taking his binoculars out of his saddlebag. He scans the horizon ahead.
What do you see, Sheriff?
Abrams hands the binoculars to Hemsworth. A new character has appeared.
No, the old one reappeared.
Oh.
I don't think I'd believe if I didn't see it.
Abrams whistles to Milo, and the dog charges forward. Abrams spurs his horse forward with Hemsworth and Harper, another new character, following behind. Over the clearing, Milo stops. Ears low, he growls forward. Abrams, Hemsworth, and Harper approach slowly, finding the mutilated corpse of a dead cow. It appears to have been savagely decimated by a pack of feral animals.
What in tarnation?
The 3 dismount to inspect the remains closer. Broken bones pierced through flesh and sucked clean. Harper stops frozen in place. He turns away, getting nauseous, but trying to keep it together.
Keep it together, son.
Hemsworth? Oh, Hemsworth is back. Let's go. Takes the lead toward the disemboweled cow.
Go easy on the kid. He hasn't seen what we have.
He's got to grow up sooner or later.
Abrams and Hemsworth step forward, inspecting the carcass.
Any ideas, Doctor?
Hemsworth dons his glasses, leaning into the torn open cow.
It looks like whatever we got, our poor girl was quite hungry. About 2/3 of her flesh is gone.
Wolves.
How much meat is that? Like
That's
half
a
a
lot.
ton?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Cows are huge.
Yeah.
Anyways, Abrams scans the ground as Hemsworth circles the cow carcass, continuing his examination.
I reckon 6 or 7 could take her down, maybe more with the amount of flesh consumed.
Abrams kneels down, scanning the dirt.
Just one problem. There's no wolf prints, no drag marks, nothing to indicate a pack kill.
Hemsworth looks up from his examination, scans the ground soaked through with blood.
Well, if it wasn't wolves.
Abrams steps further away from the carcass, scanning the dirt. With the carcass doing what? Yeah, Abrams steps further away from the carcass, scanning the dirt.
Yeah, mountain lions are known to prowl these parts.
True, but taking down such a large animal, they typically prefer the smaller ones.
Abrams notices large hoof prints in the mud, prints pressed over each other, sinking deep and heavy.
Look here.
Hemsworth steps beside him.
Yes, I'd say a rather large bull. Maybe it charged and it spooked the cat off. Maybe it charged and spooked the cat off. If it ran over the cat's prints.
Abrams stands looking toward the early evening sun.
Let's keep writing. The sun is waning, and I want to get to Callahan's before dark.
Abrams heads back to the horses where Harper stands holding the reins. That's not how you spell reins. You've written a verb in place of a noun, John.
A noun instead of a verb. Rein. Okay. Yeah.
You all right, kid?
Harper takes in several large breaths, nodding. Abrams whistles to Milo.
Let's go, boy.
The three mount their horses. Milo barks once again, taking the lead across the prairie. Exterior Callahan Ranch day. Milo slows as he... Weren't they just talking about getting there before sunset?
Yeah.
So, okay, it's still day, I guess. Oh, they got really fast. Milo slows as he approaches perimeter fence. Perimeter fence. Milo slows as he approaches perimeter fence. Yeah. Posts splintered and fallen spread out across the dirt. He sniffs the ground at the stampeding hooves leading out into the pasture. Milo slowly walks into the yard, finding the carcass of a flattened heifer, body strewn across the yard as it was trampled to death. Bones broken and flattened. Internal organs picked clean hours ago. A small number of crows pick at the flesh left by larger predators. Milo barks, sending the crows flying up, perching in a nearby tree. They squawk, looking side to side, waiting. Milo turns back as Abrams, Hemsworth, and Harper ride into the yard. The sickening smell of death fills their nose. They've only got one nose between all of them?
It's all right, kid. Let it out.
Yep. Hemsworth eyes the heifer's corpse. Corsa?
Poor thing. Corpse, I think it means. Poor thing didn't stand a chance.
Oh, I know what it means. I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it as written. Abrams whistles loudly toward the house.
Doug, you inside? It's Sheriff Abrams.
There's no answer from the house. Abrams looks down at Milo. Milo whimpers in response. Abrams dismounts his horse.
Where is he, boy?
Milo leads Abrams over the corral, stopping at the border. Once again, fence posts splintered and broken, large pieces of wood strewn across the dirt. Milo stops, lowering his head, growling.
His head's growling?
That's what he wrote. Yeah, Abrams' hand slides to his revolver, his thumb releasing the retention strap. Exterior corral continuous. Milo growls into the corral. Abrams walks past him, hand on his revolver, then stops. Scattered human remains. A hand here, a foot there, a half-chewed character. Milo's growl turns to a whimper, then he runs away. Yeah.
Doctor!
Hemsworth enters behind Abrams, freezing in his tracks.
My God.
Abrams restraps his revolver. He turns away from the corral. Exterior, Callahan Ranch House continuous. Harper sits on the front porch regaining his bearings.
Jamie, run to the barn, fetch us some canvas wrap and trunk.
Harper slowly stands up, walks to the barn. Exterior corral continuous. Hemsworth glances back at Abrams standing outside the corral.
You sure you want the boy coming in here?
Jamie, just leave it outside.
From the distance, Harper waves to him as he disappears inside the barn. Hemsworth approaches a hand and forearm laying in the dust. He kneels down, examining it. Oh, yeah. Okay, hand and forearm. All right. That's a weird way to write that. Taking out a pencil and paper, he starts drawing a simple sketch.
What do you think?
Bite marks. Definitely a violent attack.
Whoever spooked the cattle got our dear Mr. Callahan.
It would seem so, yes.
It doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense.
Hemsworth stands walking to the half-chewed torso. He kneels down, drawing out a sketch noting the bite marks on his drawing.
Perhaps we should consider something that doesn't make sense.
I'm open to suggestions, Doc.
Just then, Harper enters, pushing a medium chest in a wheelbarrow.
Sheriff, is this big enough?
He He freezes, staring at the torso. Abrams stands walking up to him. He takes the wheelbarrow handle from Harper.
I got it, son. Why don't you see to Milo? He ran off not long ago.
Harper stares forward, nods.
Deputy Harper.
Harper snaps back, looking at Abrams.
Yes, sir.
Go find the dog.
Yes, sir.
Harper turns, walking back to the ranch house. Abrams rolls the trunk into the center of the corral, opening it.
I swear that kid will be the death of me.
If that kid is not literally the death of him before the end of this movie, you have fucked up.
Yep.
Hemsworth chuckles.
He's got some growing to do, that's for sure.
Abrams lays out the canvas and begins wrapping the body parts. Interior Callahan Ranch House Master Bedroom night. Milo lays on the large bed, tail moving side to side. Harper enters the room. Milo perks up toward the door, tail wagging, getting excited.
There you are.
Harper walks up and pets him, but Milo stares at the door. He lays back down on the bed, whimpering. Interior Callahan Ranch House night. Abrams stands by the hearth stirring a pot of coffee. Hemsworth sits at the table with several scattered note pages, drawing some sketches of the scene from memory. Harper lights a fire in the fireplace. Milo curls up in front of the fire. Harper smiles, petting him.
There you go. Everything will be all right.
Standing, Harper notices a painting over the fireplace of Callahan, 10 years younger, with a youthful wife and 2 small children.
Mr. Callahan had a family?
Hemsworth looks up from his notes, notices the painting.
Yes, remember about 10 years ago when half the town was sick with the pox? You were laid out for a week. I remember. No, not everyone recovered.
Abrams returns from the hearth with 3 cups of coffee, placing them on the table.
So, Doc, what are we looking at here?
Hemsworth takes a sip of his coffee. Harper sits down at the table beside him.
I fear you might be right about it being a mountain lion. Large, solitary, predatory. But these attacks aren't like no ordinary mountain lion.
What then, if not a lion?
Thank you.
Sorry, that was not me. Oh my God. Sorry about that.
While rare, there are some cases of these mountain lions going rabid.
Abrams drops his head in hands.
Jesus.
What are we going to do?
Just then, the murderer of crows calls outside, drawing the 3's attention to the door. Milo perks up his head, growling at the door.
There you go. All right. Well, they've been polished. And stuff happened. We have a lot of carnage, a lot of blood, a mystery. We have Sheriff Abrams. We have Hemsworth. We have a boy. We have Milo the dog, who's probably infected. I mean, you know, the situation is developing. I like it. You did a good job. What do you think, Danny?
I think the characters feel like they have some character in this go around. I have read a couple of versions of this, and they're hard to keep track of in my head at this stage.
Yeah.
But
the other versions don't matter. Just focus on this version.
There you go.
Well, yes, but anyway, so this version is mostly fine. There's still not enough dialogue, but you know, they actually see something horrific instead of just a dead cow. People eat dead cows all the time, honestly. So good job on that. What's his name? The deputy is interesting in this. It is successfully exploring a mystery. This scene is doing that. Preston can say nice things now, or Robert can.
I'll do nice things.
Nice things already.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did
Preston
say
Just
went
nice.
first.
describe the plot.
Yeah, well, and he liked it.
And I said I liked it.
That's true. Okay, my bad.
Okay, so yes, the characters are a little more dimensional. The interaction is it feels a little more real as well. So, and that is part of what gives those characters dimension. And so it's polished. Can we go to constructives?
Yeah, go ahead.
Takes too long. It's like I feel like I'm being dragged through details for a lot of stuff. I don't buy that Harper is disgusted by a dead cow. If they're in a ranching community, people have seen a dead cow.
People eat dead cows all the time,
every day, and they don't necessarily see them slaughtered or what happens in a case like this, but it just can't possibly be that foreign to somebody who's a deputy in, no matter how green he is, that an animal like that is dead. So I'm not buying it. I'm saying it's his reaction isn't there. I think the more blasé they are about a dead cow, the better it is, until they start looking at it. And that build comes way too late. It should be normal, then weird. And it starts off weird when you have Harper reacting to it like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing. I don't understand why they can't believe what they're seeing. They see it, they look at it, they come up with rational explanations for what they know. And then it starts getting a little bit weird. Clean that up. That's all I can say is that it should build from normal. Oh, there's a dead cow. Something must have happened. Oh, it looks like this. Oh, it can't be that. Looks like this. Well, it can't be that. Oh my gosh, this is odd. That drives them to the next stage. The dog should be fucking anxious the entire time, tugging at their at their pant legs. We got more stuff to go look at. For Christ's sake, my master's dead, and you guys are sitting here looking at an old cow.
No, Robert, the dog only moves slowly.
And teleports. He teleports. So come on. So
okay, well, he either moves slowly or he teleports. Frankly, if I could teleport, I'd walk slowly.
I didn't say teleport, John. That was Danny's thing. I was just having a little fun. So so I don't like that. That scene is a sandpit of action. So you got to clean that up and make it. That's where the first drip of mystery happens and drives them to the next stage. And you can't keep killing off his desire to get to the place before dark. So he's got two motivations to hightail it and get it there. So he's got to go and get to the place. Plus the dog is pulling him. There's a mystery that's building, and it's going to get dark. So you got three reasons for them to haul. I'd pare it down to two written reasons as to why they need to go. When they get to the site where they finally discover that there's kind of two things happening. There's more cows that are dead and stuff like that, and they kind of see it like, wow, this must have been really bad. Then be done with it. Okay, we know something really bigger has happened. It's not just the first one. Now there's more dead ones. And then they find Callahan. You got to build up to Callahan and make that a big fucking thing. That's where Harper's got to get sick and go, oh my fucking God. And everybody's just shocked by it. Then the professionals, Abrams and Hemsworth, start to get analytical. And now you're into forensics, and they're going into it. So you've become into a procedural, and they're going through it. That's why he's drawing. That's why, and Abrams wants to know what he thinks because the doctor's the analytical one. You've got to go CSI on this one if you're going to do that route where they're trying to figure out what's going on. You moved into police procedural. I don't know why Milo is in the scene and important and then gone, and in the scene and important and then gone. Why is Harper alone with Milo in the house? Why did Milo bark or growl at a door and then there's nothing in there? I mean, it's like there's little things that happen that don't seem to be doing anything. And I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right, Danny.
Well, I'll step in. I disagree slightly about the first dead cow scene being a complete sandpit. But the way you wrote it, it kind of approaches Quagmire. That scene, I don't know why the doctor is talking about what he's actually seeing. It's a dead cow. He should be having a normal conversation while poking through the entrails of a dead cow. That's what physicians actually do.
Yeah, do you have any cigarettes? It's like
right. He's just like, oh yeah, so how's the kids doing? Like, oh, he's like looking at some guts. Like that's normal doctoring. So yeah, you don't really build a lot of character there. I agree the dog should be antsy to get back home. I did like the dog being on the bed. That was nice. That was a good scene. It wasn't great how you got there. I think if you lean into the nighttime thing, an empty house at night is still kind of spooky. Like, I know it's like, oh, it's just an empty house. Yeah, empty houses are spooky. There's a noise. What is it? There's no light. You don't even have flashlights. Someone has to light a fire. Like, whoa, what's this I tripped over? Oh, stop holding my hand. Oh, that's not your hand. That's the severed hand. All of that stuff is incredibly disturbing if you shoot it right. And, like, you're not leaning into any of it. Like, I don't think you trust your scenario well enough to tell an interesting story. And you're too busy trying to do zombie tropes. Like, you don't need to do that. You haven't explored an empty house at night. What the hell was that? Someone left a door open. There's a fucking raccoon rummaging around, just scaring the shit out of everyone. Or whatever the equivalent of raccoons is in the Dakotas.
It would be a raccoon.
Yeah, be raccoon.
Cool. So, you know, like raccoons, I will admit, in Toronto, we have damn awesome raccoons. They have spooked the hell out of me so many times, like in the middle of the night.
Raccoon was in the North Hills of Dakota, so there you go.
There you go. Yeah. No, they go right for the garbage or like actual food if they can get it. They're smart. They can open doors. Like, we've gone through like 4 different designs for our green bins in like 6 years. Because Toronto raccoons are notoriously intelligent. And also they're big. I don't know if you've seen a raccoon in real life. They are very big. Like, they're not
hang out at the dumpsters behind my apartment building.
Yes.
And they come in large groups and they look very orderly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
They very much have a do not fuck with me vibe.
Yes. Yeah. Well, their entire vibe is
like I will cut you if you.
Well, they will. Don't let your dog get near them because they'll hurt. They'll really hurt the dog. So
at my last, when I was living with my cousin on the East End, you could hear raccoons and cats fighting on rooftops all night.
Short fight.
I mean, you know, I'm gonna go with it's pretty even because all the cats are still in the neighborhood and so are the raccoons. But you know, like something like that's like mundane should be scary in the dark when you don't have any light until you've lit a fire and you're still exploring stuff. Like, that slows stuff down, right? Oh, let's go in. Now we have to explore the house. Now we have to find the hearth. Now we have to go find, like, where's the kindling? Did we bring our own? Okay, now we've got to do this. Okay, now we've got to get some sort of torches or a lantern. Oh, there's only one lantern.
There's still coffee on the hot stove or whatever they have.
Yeah. This coffee's cold, but why is there still coffee? You know.
That's right.
Like, and then empty house, possibly some pests invading, and then oops, severed hand. Well, that's why the house is empty. Okay, cool. That's one answer. And then the dog is still, like, you know, less antsy. The dog can go sit on the bed once they've gone in, but then once they've done that, taking forever and they're tired and someone can talk about that. No, we can't go to sleep, deputy. We still have to investigate this place before scavengers take away any more evidence.
Yeah.
Right? And they know they're scavengers because they just tripped over a fucking raccoon. Or something like that. Like,
oh, Scott Harbin had a suggestion. And that's, which, you know, lowers the cost, and I always appreciate suggestions that lower the cost. And that's that the carrion animals stay away from the diseased carcasses, which is eerie. And that people would comment on, like, wow, like, you know, like the buzzards are not, you know, preying on the diseased carcasses.
Oh yeah, I remember that note. That was a good note.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, look, you know, carcasses are cheap. They're gruesome. They are foreboding. I'm okay with it wandering around. You know, I'm seeing a lot of like gross carcass stuff. I think that's fine.
Oh, how about a whole bunch of dead raccoons?
The dead raccoons are better than live raccoons. Sandy can brew up a bunch of dead raccoons, no problem. Yay! There we go.
Sandy would quite like that, I'm sure. This is
Yeah.
vibe.
And my rocket can fill in as an extra.
Yeah. We playing some games with Pam.
I was.
I'm sure she appreciated that.
Yes, and I gave her some soap and lotion.
Oh, that's very sweet
As
of you.
get well.
Yeah.
Glad you're feeling better.
We read through all the scripts.
It's all right.
Yeah.
How were they, review wise?
Danny, how were they?
Sorry, I what? They were fine.
They were fine. Yeah, they were fine.
No AI.
Robert, we also like gave some notes on Robert's early sketches.
Nice.
They were just John's scripts and Robert's AI
Pencils.
sketches of comic books.
I don't think they were AI. I think he had a
I
real
don't think
dry.
they were AI. Yeah,
No, I think they
not
were
AI.
actual sketches, which is
I
why
have
they
a
were
real
putting
Italian
notes on.
artist working
Yeah.
on them. So.
Yeah, there's
brilliant.
like what's his name's terrible AI concept art with like people swimming through snow on a street for like serial twins or like bullshit like that. Doesn't really get notes aside from Jesus. You thought this was acceptable. Robert got notes because it was clearly art.
Yeah.
Yeah, he clearly tried and put money and effort into it.
And
Okay,
and
so
that
can we
deserves
talk
reward.
about money for that? How much do you think that cost or should cost? What you saw?
Those sketches?
Yeah.
They're just sketches. Like
Yeah, they're
Jesus.
sketches.
You paid more than like $30 for the lot of them. You probably got ripped off.
I paid more than $30 for all of it. Yes.
Okay.
I
All
it's
right.
not
I mean,
from the
I would have said $10 or $20 a page. If you were paying more than $20 a page for those sketches, I would say that would have
I paid 15, so you hit the mark.
per page.
$90.
I think that's
$90.
fair. I think he's
Yeah.
putting creativity and time into it. And he did
Was
the
it-
lettering for you too. So I think
I
that's
blocked it
probably
out.
fair for that, because you could still take that, go to another artist and pay somebody else. A lot of times, sometimes, that's included. So what I've typically done for my projects is I pay $100 to my artist to do sketches for the entire issue.
How many pages is that?
24. So or 28, depending on however it's per issue. It's just I'm going to pay you $100 to do sketches through the entire issue. I approve them. Then we start pencil work.
Dan says you got a good deal.
You got a good deal, honestly.
There you go.
Me or Robert?
The sketches.
I mean,
Robert
I can
15
show
pages.
off like what my first step of production is if I'm allowed to screen share
Go
it
ahead.
all.
Yeah.
Like, and here we go. I'll just like load this up, and so I don't even start with sketches. I just start with thumbnails.
They're the same thing.
I mean, yes and no. It's much sketchier than even the stuff. It's in the ballpark of the stuff Robert had. Let's see. Share screen.
I mean, they did not just a sketch, but they also did at least some tone. They
Yeah,
added
like this is what my sketches look like. Like these are just thumbnails. Like, do the layouts work?
show where do you put those?
Have you shared the screen?
I am sharing my screen.
Okay,
Yes, there we go.
nice.
Like, so
Oh
this
yeah,
is
that
my
is
first
that
step.
is not what I get.
Yeah,
when I
don't pay extra for this. This is step one of
And
this is
where?
a great time to troubleshoot like where the characters are, do the scenes
Figure out where this
flow,
went.
all of that. This is all you need. Like, where's the black and where's the light, and where are the people?
Yeah.
So that this sort of thing is usually my first phase of production.
Yeah, I just have them do more less detailed pencils. It's like a light sketch that's drawn so that we get the placement of characters, and so that he puts the right people on the right side and understands what certain words mean. Because I've had to go back and forth and say, what is that? That's not what I said it was.
Oh yeah, reading scripts is really hard.
Yeah, especially if you don't speak English.
Yeah.
And the writer only speaks English and not Portuguese.
I mean, it's the artist's problem, I guess, but they always make it the writer's problem to notice all those details.
The job, not the problem.
Well, mostly we're writer editors, so when we're looking at the art come back, technically we got to put on editor hat. Then it is our
publishers.
And the real problem is sometimes I don't notice things until it's actually colored, and then I'm like, "Holy crap, that was."
Oh yeah, this
right.
is why the more phases of production you have, like the more you avoid that shit. So like if you start with real thumbs, like that are more sketchy even than what I just showed you, like you can do them like really, really tiny. That gets you out of a lot of trouble on the layout side. Then you start going to sketches like this sort of thing, or like what you and Robert did is like slightly more advanced, and that's pretty close to pencils. Like give notes there, it's still cheaper than giving notes elsewhere. Like every phase you notice more and more, and hopefully you fixed a bunch of the big problems, so by the time you're right about to do inks, you actually get a chance to fix the little problems. Because once you've done inks, especially if you're using physical process, it's really annoying to go back and fix stuff. Obviously people do digital inking now, blah blah blah, but yeah, after colors means you have to go back and redraw even more. It's annoying.
Well, if they draw, aren't they? I mean, are you saying they use markers and stuff like
pen? They usually ink.
Yeah, it's like with India ink.
They're not doing it digitally.
Not everyone.
You can.
You can. I typically go with. I typically have digital inks. I like the look of it. I think the lines are cleaner. I can.
Did you say you like the cleaner is digital?
I do. I like the cleaner lines of digital. I did. I
mean, the idea of the reuse of art is something commercially that I think would be critical. And I know this comes from my commercial background and working with marketing firms in the movie industry. Every piece of art can be extracted and then reused somehow.
Yeah.
And that was literally was my business, was creating all those key art elements to make sure. Well, John, I sent you that brochure that was from my old company. Is where we took out all the elements of it. Like when we did Rapunzel, we had every section of her hair broken out separately so that for whatever use it was going to be done in the marketing internationally, they would have something to use to build whatever the graphic was that was required. So I'm assuming that, well, in fact, I'm not going to assume it. That's how I am going to do this, even if I end up with one issue because that's all I feel I can do with it, or it doesn't work for me, or whatever the case is. Everything's going to be able to be extracted so that I could use it in some other way. That's particularly true.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do physical inks and then still give editorial a digital scan. Like you still scan it.
Well, I understand that, but I would want to layer it so that I could extract a given character from a scene, or the helicopter from the scene, and or you know what I mean, elements.
You want every element in the scene to be a different Photoshop layer.
Exactly. Well, Photoshop and
but then you have to have the artist draw everything underneath on every single layer.
Yeah,
because the background layer has to be complete. The only advantage to doing that is if you're doing animation, but honestly, that's
then only moving things get their own cells, not the background.
Well, okay. So I was talking to somebody at the last show I did, which is actually local because it's a Florida art school. But
how did Singers Imperium do?
Was fine. But anyway, they were talking to me about doing animated trailers for comic books, and one of the things that we talked about, because they asked me if my art was in layers, and I said no, everything's flat. So if they were going to animate elements on top of it for like a Kickstarter trailer or whatever, they would have to go in and draw under the layer underneath. So in your case, if you're going to animate the helicopter moving across the panel for the Kickstarter trailer or whatever, then having that layer underneath would be advantageous to you.
Most beneficial for you. Even when I do general artwork, even if it's just like a page, I tend to put things on different layers. So, and the reason why is so they're just easy for me to edit. before I
Well,
find
yeah, I can't. I have to tell you,
Robert,
production.
another
For my
problem that you
protection
have
mind,
with
I
that,
can't
though-
even imagine not doing that. I can't even imagine.
So
it.
here's another problem you have: is you're going for print production,
Yeah.
and having a color layer underneath something. The printers don't like that, and it will fuck with your colors.
Well, you know what?
Well,
I know.
But you
Yes,
can
they
still
can have
send,
it's called pre-press, and it can be done. So that's
you can still flatten the layer. Like Robert
No,
could
but
get
like
the
it doesn't
files
discard all
in
the information
layers
necessarily.
and then flatten the layers before sending them to the
It
printer.
does not necessarily discard all the information completely, and what you lose is the colors underneath your blacks.
I would
So
give
on
them a
and
print
you need
ready
to actually have some
PDF
bleed
without
over
a
your
problem.
blacks.
I've never had a problem with that, honestly.
It is
I
never.
have seen misaligned art
Yeah.
digitally.
Okay, that's scary to me, but for the printer, but not scary for me. I
So
come
if
from
you want that,
an extremely
cool, but
high end
your
printing
color values
background.
will be off. You
Yeah.
only got
You
4
could-
colors of ink.
Yeah, I understand that. Wait, yeah, I
So,
know how it works.
Danny,
more
you're
stuff on
you're overthinking this. In the digital world, when you flatten layers in Photoshop, everything underneath is gone. They're gone.
Gone.
So
I have no
if
idea
he
what you're talking
flattens
about.
every layer in
Everything that is
Photoshop
just done.
and exports it to even if he send them as TIFF files or as a flattened
Yeah,
PDF,
that's all
the
of it.
printer is gonna be fine. And then he still has the
Except
production
offset
layers
printers
if
still
he wants to do
misaligned,
animation
and
or
bad
whatever.
colorists don't color under the black.
That is true.
His
Bad
colorist
colors don't do
would have to color every element and layer.
Ron, you
separately.
can flatten your file and still retain your color values underneath stuff. That is an
I
actual
personally
thing.
never had a problem with it.
I have no idea
Rare
what
to
you're
have a
saying.
problem with it, and if you're
Yeah.
doing digital prints, you're not going to have a problem with it. And if you're doing an offset run, you might.
That would be true. An offset run. Yes.
I'm sure Robert
That-
would
I feel
absolutely
that's-
love to have the
that's what the
volume of
printer-
printing necessary to do offset.
I am
I
not
I mean,
doing
if he's going to
offset.
give these away, then
Yeah.
the difference.
If
The
they
difference
don't,
in
if they
price
don't match
between-
it properly, yes, the offset is.
It's not that they don't match it. It's if
Yeah.
the paper jams by like a 1/4 millimeter, it's off.
Oh my
Like,
god, I hate that. So, but yeah, but that's their fault. That's the printer's fault. It's not necessarily
well, there's a
digital
certain
file.
amount of tolerance expected, which is why you have to have proper flats.
Mhm.
Oh my god. I don't know what to say.
Hell, I don't know what you're. I don't even have my colorist work in CMYK.
Whoa,
yeah, I
why?
know, it's weird.
Why the hell not?
well, because
I
you
let
give
my
it to them in
printer do
Well, they're
RGB and they
fucking
do the
amateurs.
convert.
What?
The
I'm freaking
colorists
out.
don't even know well enough to do it unless they're told. They're clearly amateurs.
I would not have a colorist do the CMYK conversion. Period. It's printer's territory. They have to get
Yes,
the
I
screen
agree with you,
angles
Robert.
correct.
That to me, that I leave that to the
You
printer.
guys are killing me.
You color in
I
CMYK.
completely disagree with that.
Yeah.
You
No,
color in CMYK because there are RGB colors that cannot be printed with inks.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
RBG.
In fact,
only
my
for
friend
digital.
Paris Elaine, who won an Eisner for Afterlift, which is a great book that you should read, Diane.
Hmm?
It's very Asian culture. You'll love it.
Okay.
Afterlift. It was a digital first book by Dark Horse, and he specifically used colors that are unprintable on purpose,
Yeah.
and had to redo the colors for the print run because he knew it was digital first and knew he can get away with using those colors. Just color in CMYK. Your colorist is an adult. This is what you pay them for.
Yeah.
Now, I actually because I want
Okay,
my digitals to look good, and when I send them to the
CMYK digitals
printer,
look
my
fine.
printer prints fine. I have no problem with the way the quality of my books look when they're printed.
CMYK digitals.
And if I
look
get to
fine.
a point in my career where I can offset print and it doesn't look right because the color conversion's not right, then I will deal with it.
Or
I'll
get
pay
this,
somebody to.
You could realize that you're a professional comics creator and just expect everyone to use professional formats because that's literally what you pay them for.
Right.
Yeah, that is. I agree. I agree.
Like, there's no reason
Unless
to
you're
use a
doing
sloppy
it fully
process for no
digital,
reason.
do not.
Preston,
use
can we share a screen for a
No
second?
benefit from a sloppy process.
RBG.
Sure. Yeah.
Don't
go
do
ahead.
that.
I have no problem with the current process and everything looks
You don't
fine.
have a problem with it, but you only gain detriments.
Yeah.
And for literally the same amount of effort, you would have no detriments. You're just costing yourself for no reason.
Okay, can we see
Preston's art's coming in CMYK?
All right, so this is the kind of work that I did. Okay, these are all the posters and stuff that my company worked on. We break out all the individual pieces of art. We did. I don't run the company anymore. This is what you have to be able to work and do this stuff. Every single element is broken out so that it can be used in a certain way. And so your ability to control color is vastly improved when you have this. The printer will actually flatten this based on what they need to do to convert it to CMYK and get the color fidelity that you're after. This works. It's exactly how it works. It's how I did every single one of those artists
gave you CMYK files.
None of these artists gave me CMYK files. They all all of them gave me RGB files, which, okay, I can stop sharing now. All of them gave RGB
It's an embedded color space thing. Photoshop does it automatically. I've been printing for like 20 years. Like, I know that this stuff works.
Danny. I'm a really old man.
Yes,
I have
sure.
been in the printing industry for a long time.
Sorry, I don't like being lectured at about things I'm good at.
Yeah, I don't like hearing that there's a certain process that needs to be followed because it doesn't work when I know, in fact, that it does. And we can agree to disagree on it.
Clearly doing with posters.
No, there's no question. It's high fidelity.
Artists to produce that stuff or to extract that stuff.
That it is okay. It's not comic book work. I agree with you. Nobody's going to print a comic book at the level that
also, and this is really important. If you want to extract something, it has a holding line, Robert, in a comic, which is really easy to extract.
Okay, well, I'm fairly far away from getting to the point where I build those files. When I build them, I am more than pleased to have either an online discussion with you in this forum or a Zoom discussion with you and go through the details of how they were made. And I can have
there are lots of ways to get those files as part of your like mid-production process as well.
I'm done. You can have the rest.
Yeah. So
but yeah, asking your illustrator to like do stuff on separate layers when they might not actually be working digitally in the first place.
That's exactly what I did and what I got. He gave me Photoshop files that are the source files. They're layered to the extent that, which isn't much in this particular case for the pencils. But when it gets to color, I'm going to need, like with the helicopter scene, I'm going to need the helicopter on a layer. I am going to need the lightning bolts on a layer. And I'm going to need the clouds on a layer. This is how I think, and I have to have it that way. And I'm willing to pay for it to be done that way so that there's control over it.
In that case, I'm sure it'll be fine.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Well, can't wait. Next week we'll have more scripts.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, everyone.
Well, good night, everyone.
We can still be friends, Danny.
Okay.
I never thought we weren't.
Exactly.
We were just talking about people who want to do the same thing and we're disagreeing on methods.
I mean, look, everyone's investing their own money. If you make a mistake, like for instance, if John hits it big later on and is like, oh my goodness, I'm going to do big print runs on my past books, and it turns out the color's off, well, live and learn.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know if he has a real flat layer on any of that stuff.
Who?
What are you talking about?
Do you have flat layers in your books? Like in your files?
They're all flat.
Once they were printed, yeah.
Like flat color layers on top of which is rendered color layers.
I do not get the color flats.
Yeah. So there's no way to know.
There are color flats. My colorist does flats.
In that case, it's
because I've seen them. And in some of my issues, I actually hired a separate guy to help speed up production. I had one guy doing flats, and then he would send the flats to the colorist. And when the colorist would tell me the flats were good, then I paid the flatter, because I don't know anything about flats. So I relied on my colorist to tell me they were good.
Are you talking about signatures? Printing signatures?
No.
I don't know what a flat is.
It's flat color.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So color
he would,
plotting is a process of is basically like figuring out which areas are lines that need to be colored in and putting something underneath it. So that way you can replace it later with whatever you want to put there.
Yeah, I just call it Control Alt G.
And then,
well, no, but you need
my colorist.
That's what I'm. Yes.
And then my colorist, when he is done coloring and polishing and shading and doing all of his sparkly layers, he flattens the PDF file, exports it to a TIFF, and then sends me the flattened TIFF. And what I get is a flattened TIFF.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
That is the final product. That's what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Diane, you're talking about creating a clipping mask, right?
It's kind of like that, but different.
Yeah.
When I have to
creating clipping masks,
when I work with my lines, I tend to use one color, and then I will actually end up, and that's on a separate layer. So my lines are on a separate layer, and then depending on what I need to do, if I need to color those lines, I will use I believe it's I use a Control Alt G. I actually don't know I just know the hotkey.
Yeah,
I don't know the word for it.
It's the gradient tool.
What is it?
Yeah, and then you use the paint bucket feature of it.
Yeah, I can, or I can make it more detailed by just going in by pixels.
Yeah, the flats layer is basically create the zones, then you put some bullshit there.
Yeah.
Of whatever the color is. So everything that's like neon orange is going to be brown.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
But you still have to cover the page in paint.
Yes.
And you're going to put the inks on top of that.
Yes.
And what your colorist does is takes all the areas that are neon orange, figures out what the actual color is for that, puts it there. Yeah. That's the first layer is flat color.
Yeah.
Then they render on top of that.
Yes.
And then even if they fuck up and just click with inside the holding lines of like the interior holding lines of your inks, which is not enough space to have color underneath your blacks, which you need, blah, 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 offset print. Because there's a flat layer underneath, A, it's easier. B, there's still something there. So you're still not printing on like straight paper in the middle of a night scene.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So that is what I did with my illustrations for Singapore. So I used a flat layer and then just kind of like
the solution is professionals, and you're already doing that, Robert. So I don't think you should be very worried.
Yeah,
I'm not. That's the one part that I know, but this is
mostly because the reason why I mostly do that is because people ask for a transparent, like the background to be transparent. They want the figure itself, like the basically like the animal itself or whatever the creature is that I'm drawing, because the background they want to do something else, and that's kind of what I do. So beyond that, if they need concept art, I don't do much when it comes to the conceptuals for the creature.
That's a lot of work. I mean, if you're going through the effort of flattening it, it's not really concept art; it's a finished piece.
Well, the thing is that this is all conceptual art for like clients. So I can't give them like super sketchy stuff because they don't work that way.
Oh yeah, no, the clients are the worst.
Clients are the worst people because they're not creative.
They're like, oh, what's that? Your sketch doesn't look like a publishable piece. You're fired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I thought it would look more detailed, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay.
You're going to manage customer expectations. Job one.
Well, they expected like a finalized art when you only have like a day after telling them through a Zoom meeting.
Your account executive should be your buffer zone between that client ordering the business and you.
And I'm just going like, well, we haven't built it yet. We got to sketch it first. So we got to figure out.
Are you working with agencies and the art buyer or the art director?
For me?
Yeah.
I work with a team that depending on so I work at a manufacturing company that makes life-size animatronic dinosaurs. So that's what I do.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
It's very cool.
I wrote a movie. I made a movie about life-size animatronic dinosaurs that went nuts and started eating people.
That's awesome. You should join our workshop.
Well,
You
If
could read it while they work.
If you can tolerate the shitty animation, I will send you the link.
Oh no, you
Right,
need,
and
John.
you
you,
can
need,
watch
you
it.
need to read it and turn out all the lights
John,
while you're
I'm going to
reading
pitch this
it.
to you right now.
So
The
we have
animatronic
about
dinosaurs only eat
112 different
Karens.
creatures. So we mostly do.
They did eat a fair share of Karens.
Yeah, we mostly do like we also do giant bugs and prehistoric mammals and custom creations. And
Is this
all
for
this
like
stuff.
a retail environment or?
It's mostly for like museums, zoos, and theme parks. So
high end shit. I love it.
Yeah, when I talk about Singapore, it's because I had to do museum quality shit for their museum cabinet.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make you drool with envy. One of my clients used to be Imagineering.
I worked for Disney. Understand?
Did you really?
Yeah,
over in Glendale. Imagineering was. I archived their entire, digitized their entire archive.
That's awesome.
It's you wouldn't believe the stuff that they have, and their research library. The research library is some of the rarest books in existence are in that research library. I was
not able to go into the Imagineering building, but I was able to watch them install. The Stitch ride, and watching them put up the animatronic and test it with all the bladders and the lights and the LEDs before they put the skin on.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Did they let you take pictures?
Yeah. I'm not allowed to.
Oh no, we all my employees, because we did it. We had to do it on site, and all the employees had to pass not only a background check, but they were actually run through a scanner to see if they had anything. No phones were allowed in. Nothing.
Yeah, so the Imagineers, like, they're tip top secret. So I got to see them do that. I seen them kind of like what is it, maintenance the Hall of Presidents. So Abraham Lincoln like stood up right next to me, and it freaked me out because I didn't know it was on. so he just stood up, and it's really interesting when you get up really close to the costumes because all of it's hand stitched. So and
Disney, fuck
yeah, it's Disney, but because and it's also doing that, but just like they can breathe. It's weird. It's weird, particularly how old those particular animatronics are.
I saw that at Disneyland when I was a kid.
Yeah,
it was amazing as a kid.
Yeah, so it's interesting seeing that. Also seeing them, I was like backstage for Tower of Terror and see how that mechanicals work, which is astounding.
I saw a video on that. I just saw it the other day. Talking about the animatronics in that. So.
Yeah, and also the Haunted Mansion. When you're just walking around the Haunted Mansion when it's on, but nobody's in.
Customers, no customers.
Yeah, it's just like before it opens, and just walking around and being in the ballroom where the dancers are. It's really weird. It's really weird. Says the Pepperbox dancers. So it's a very weird experience. So.
All right.
Okay. Good show.
Good show, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye. So.